Hello, hello. How's it going, everybody? Welcome. We're back. We're back. It's like old times. I missed starting at the church, but here we are. We're back with Angel. Dogs Season 2, Episode 51. Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, hope everybody's doing well. Last episode we left Sissika, met up with Beth and Deadson again, had a little chat and discovered some really interesting things. So lots going on, lots happening. We'll have to see where everything ends up in the end. I don't know who that was. Is that an NPC? I'd be surprised if that's an NPC. I've never seen that guy there before. In life. I'm gonna have a quick check of telegrams and then we'll have a wander. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Well, that's easy. Goldie didn't get back to us. Maybe he hasn't been around, maybe he has. Maybe he's just not taking the bait. Alright, I think we're right over there. Shortest dogs episode in history. It's a yummy day though, a very yummy day. The blazing sunshine combined with the delicious drink of armadillo. We're filled up or ready to go. Well, I'm really not taking no for an answer to when it comes to these guys, so I'm gonna go to Blackwater to see who's fucking around. Doggy? Beth said that she left us a note as well. Last episode. But she didn't give us any hints as to where it was. And that she didn't think I'd be able to find it. So I'm kind of tempted to go looking, but I really wouldn't know where to start. Might be in Guam. Wouldn't that be something? How short is short? Well, short in the sense that we are 2 hours late from when we usually start, so this will probably be like a 2.5 hour session, maybe. So we'll see what we can get up to in 2.5 hours. It's only late because I was a little bit peckish and I was watching Daredevil. The new Daredevil is phenomenal, by the way. You gotta watch it if you're not watching it. It's the most non-Marvel TV show that they've ever made, and well, I mean, Charlie Cox and the ensemble is just brilliant, so Vincent D'Onofrio, all of them. Are this week's episode out, or were you catching up? Well, I just watched episode 4, so I think that came out, what, on Monday, I guess? I don't know. I don't know when they're releasing them, but yeah. Yeah. Battlefield did take it out of me. I was just laughing again at Leah earlier, just sending us straight into the game. Like, no prep, nothing, just straight in. I can't do it, man, I can't do it. I need to be eased in. Never keep track of what day the release. I thought it was like every Monday or something, you know, something stupid like that. Every Monday, Sunday. I don't know. But I guess not. Preppers for sissies. Okay. Look, man. When I start up a game, you know, when I join a call, I want a little, you know, 5 minutes of chit chat, just sort of, you know, have a little sort through the classes, see what we're rocking, see what we want to get into, and then go in for it. I know you're joking, but I'm not joking. I really do need that. Yeah, I need, yeah, an acclimation period. You know, I just wanna... He got spoiled by the marathon loadout setup buffer. Look, I just can't do what Leah does and click breakthrough and then rock the same LMG that she's been rocking for 70 levels. You know, I'm a bit more particular. She's there to enjoy her time with some friends. I'm there to min-max. I'm there to unlock the little Red Bull gun charm. And that's the only thing I'm there for. What the hell is there now? That fucking black bear, man, pisses me off. Look how much it stun locks your horse. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I suppose it's better than, you know, an actual bear that will, you know, try and kill you, etc. At least it's not that kind. God, the fog is just unbelievable. My friend wants to go to a rooftop bar next month at NYC for his birthday, and I can hear the bar calling me Paul from across the river. Yeah, enjoy spending, you know, $30 per drink. Enjoy that, man. Hope you enjoy. This is very strange weather right now. We're like in the midst of the fog, but the moon is blazing through. This is how you know I'm on server, by the way. This weather just turns on. The fuck? Actual Halloween event in Blackwater. I guess you're paying for the vibes, though. Depends on the, you know, the height of the rooftop, I guess, right? Dragon Shoe and Goldie are in here doing their taxes. I can't believe I just walked in on them that one time. Just immediately 180'd and went back out. Let's see who's about. I mean, it looks like it's busy.
Hello?
There's so many horses. I'm not even wanted, so I'm just gonna see if I can catch the aura farm. And now we wait. Oh, there's nothing I love more. Foul. This is the RP aura farming gamble. You know, we perch up somewhere where we know people might be able to find us. And we wait to see if we're approached. Because we know that we're just farming other people's POVs. This is the mystery. This is giving Kane flashbacks. I thought this was an angel stream. True. No, we're tapping into our roots with this. Deputies hate this one simple trick. Time to spot Wild and reposition. Yeah. Where is Wild, guys? Isn't she gonna come from around the corner? Target number one right there. You see the bino? Wait, where are you going? Where are you going? Oh. Angel is in Blackwater. I need 800 deputies here now. Sending the telegram. Look, I don't think I'm wanted, okay? If I'm wanted, I'm gonna be stunned, okay? Absolutely stunned. But I'm just here to see if Goldie wakes up, comes through the door, and has a chat, okay? The bat signal. If you're not wanted, why are you just standing there waiting? Or are you just that guy? I'm just that guy. Yeah. If you were wondering. Hope that clears it up. Yeah, I'm him. It's angels' wings in the sky. True. Who's furniture shopping over there? Oh, wait. No, I don't recognize him. I thought it was Claire for a moment. I don't think it is. I thought they were wearing like a medic set. I'm only doing this as well purely on the basis that I've seen a lot of horses outside. There could be nobody in that fucking office. They could all be on a Sisika transport right now. And I'm just doing this for nothing. But look, I have nothing else to do. We are at we're at a juncture. Is that a word? Is that a word I can use here? They're all in there laughing at me. There's nothing to laugh at. This is not a laughing matter, what you're looking at right here. Well, we got a bite. Who is that? I don't even recognize that.
Howdy, sir. How you doing?
Evening.
How's it going?
It's going okay, I suppose. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Just checking in. You just looking at the beautiful view.
Sometimes you have to stop and Smell the flowers, don't you?
Suppose. Depends on the flowers. Some of them flowers smell like shit.
Suppose you're right.
But you wouldn't know unless you smelled them, and that takes time, and that takes a bit of mindfulness, I suppose.
You're quite right. Have we met before?
I have a feeling we have. Are you Angel?
Yeah.
I'm Beaumont. We met briefly in a shootout some time ago.
Ah.
Well, before the shootout we met, and then we had a shootout.
You know, God has a funny way of working. Where he puts something in front of you that you're not even thinking of, you're not even looking for. So you're the one that killed Delilah.
Apparently I'm going around gloating about such things, but I truly have never said a negative word about her after her death.
No, you don't seem like the type. I wonder who's been spreading those rumors.
Apparently it was a guard on Siska. To Carl, at least. Initially, he told us that he had been told by a deputy, and he was mad, and he was saying that I had specifically written in this report that I was proudly accepting the kill. However, I know who killed her, or I know whose bullet was the one that took her life, or, I mean, I suppose she died from general injuries. It's not like she died on the spot. We brought her back to Strawberry. She said her last words.
So you're washing your hands clean of it, is that right?
I don't claim that I didn't shoot at her. I did. I'm sure one of my bullets helped aid her death and her passing, but I've never once claimed, I guess, power over her death, or that I'm happy that she died. She had a gruesome death. She was loved, and that's hard to see. Even if she wasn't a great person, even if she was a criminal who hurt people.
So who do you think did kill her?
What was that, sorry?
So who do you think did kill her?
Well, I know that Dempsey was the one that made the final shot, and I've already spoken to him. I know that he's okay with me staying. He was a part of it. He and I have a similar mind that if someone wants to come after us for something, we'll talk to people. We'll be fine having a conversation. If people want to make it violent, that's on them, but it's not worth people getting kidnapped and hurt over it. We'd rather just it come directly back to us. But anyway, Dempsey was the one that at least put the shot in her that put her on the ground initially. But I suppose all of us did shoot her. It's not like we put names on our bullets, though.
No, I suppose. When the bullets start flying and you end up collecting a few, it's difficult to determine. But if it is Dempsey, then, well, I wish him the best of luck. Have you seen Carl?
A few times. I saw him when we took him to Sitka recently, and that's when he told us about this guard and/or deputy that had been pointing the finger at me. And I've seen him twice today. And he's strangely nonchalant, I should say, sorry.
So, you're not expecting retaliation from Carl?
I don't know what to expect from Carl. My partner talked to him and seemed to sort it all out. I don't know if he's... Actually, no, I know that apparently he's not coming after the pair of us. He'd initially had a plan to, but... I guess after proving that I had not boasted about her death, he seemed to lax off of that. But again, he's got Dempsey's name already. If he chooses to do something with it, he can. However, it seems like he's on this thing to get out of his ban in Valentine.
Well, maybe he's planning something, maybe not. Last time I spoke to him, he wanted to see you in the ground, and then he was gonna be on his way. So I suppose you dodged a bullet there.
Maybe. I mean, I'm glad that he's seen reason with it, and although he may not have listened to me, at least he listened to my partner. At least he listened.
Are you married, Beaumont?
No, I've been with Mockerman for about 7 years now.
Marriage not your thing?
Just haven't got there yet. I think, our love isn't about a ring or a ceremony or anything like that. We're happy.
I'm glad you're happy. Do you ever think about what would happen if something happened to Mockerman? How you'd
'cause
react?
we've been in this job for about as long as we've been together for the most part. We've accepted it, we've seen it. He's seen me in my worst state, I believe I've seen him in his. We just take every day as it goes. Every time I see him hurt, it does kill a part of me. But we're lucky thus far we've walked out of any fire we've gone into.
You have a very straightforward way of looking at it. Like you've accepted that any day now you could both learn of each other's demise.
You either accept it or you let it weigh on you all the time. Have it sneak up on you in the worst moments. It would still kill me. It would still take every breath away from me, losing him. I don't think I could continue what I do without him, but maybe I could. Maybe I shouldn't doubt myself.
It depends. You know, some people, they place their whole lives in the hands of others. It's quite a dangerous thing to do.
Do you put your life in the hands of others ever, Angel?
No. I don't rely on anyone other than myself and God. You know, just the other day, a few friends of mine had the opportunity to stop me from going into Sisika. But they had other priorities, and I don't blame them for it. But I know that there would be others who would scream at them. To let an opportunity like that slip by. I could have had another day, another week, another month on the run. But I put no stock in it. I didn't think to myself, I need them to break me out. Whatever God intended that day was what I had to accept. And it always works out in the end. He taught me something valuable on that island once again. And now here I am, a bit wiser, a bit more knowledgeable, and once again clear on what I have to do next.
I guess that's what they tell you, right? It's all God's plan. I guess you've come to the same sort of acceptance I have. It's going to happen one way or another. May as well sit back and let it happen.
It depends on how you look at it, I suppose. It's not an excuse to do nothing.
No.
Everybody has free will, the freedom of choice. Hell, I could blow your head off right now, but what would that serve? It'd serve nothing. The deputies outside or around here or even in your office might hear the gunshot and come racing out, put me down right next to you. Certainly wouldn't be worth it. And truthfully, I have no interest in you, Beaumont. Not personally, anyway. And I don't mean that in a
No, I
bad way.
understand. Do not worry. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad I don't have a shotgun in the back of my head.
Well, I'm sure you're dealing with enough as it is with your job. Am I right?
Well, there's only a few people that really hate me out there, and I haven't seen much of them. Maybe God's looking out for me, too.
Well, he's looking out for everybody. But at an arm's reach. And I'm much closer than that.
I guess in the same sense of free will, I could turn around and stick a knife in your gut.
You could. I think if you had any sense, you would right now. You'd be saving a lot of people a lot of heartache.
Well, isn't that where your free will comes in? Do you believe it's God's will for you to harm others? I mean, it says in the Bible not to hurt others. Love thy neighbor and all.
Yes, it does. But there's plenty of harm in the Bible, Beaumont. Plenty of death.
But is that, again, not the free will of those people that are written about in the Bible? Or is it saying that God asked him to harm others? I know in the Quran they at least write about if someone hurts someone you care about or someone you love or someone in your family, you have every right to go out and hurt that person back. That's not frowned upon. But I guess I'm not as familiar with the Bible.
Well, people keep bringing up the same point as you do. Doesn't it say that we shouldn't harm each other? Doesn't it say that we shouldn't kill each other? But there's plenty of death in the Bible. There's plenty of examples of God asking for death. Like when he asked Abraham to sacrifice his son, or when he commanded Saul to destroy the Amalekites. There is justified killing.
I mean, even then, you look back and you think of the story of Moses. You think of, what was it, lamb's blood on the door to protect those. And then God took the lives of the children and everyone's firstborn who didn't have the lamb's blood on their door to teach them a lesson.
What does it all mean? It's a question that we've been asking ourselves for hundreds of years. But what I've come to find, Beaumont, is that the conversation is pointless. It's the actions themselves that is the talking. So when God asked me to travel across this country and to pass on those who require judgment, it's not personal. It's just something that needs to happen. There doesn't need to be a discussion about it. There doesn't need to be opposition. It just needs to happen.
What if it's all a test for you, though, Angel? Do you believe you're the next Messiah, the next prophet?
Oh no. No, I'm not special. I've never
But
been
God
exceptional.
talks to you and God guides you into doing what you do, and you imagine that people shouldn't stand against you while you do it because, of course, it's God's word.
Well, yes. But I don't care if people disagree with it or damn me for it or want to arrest me for it. The opinions of others regarding this whole mission of mine, it bears no weight. It's like, do you have a morning routine, Beaumont?
I suppose slightly, yeah.
What is it?
Get up slowly, drink some coffee, have something to eat, sit out in the sun for half an hour, and then get to my life.
Exactly. And you've done it so many times that I'm sure at some point you're not even thinking about what you're doing. When you're pouring that coffee or when you walk outside into the sun, you're not thinking to yourself, and now I will walk outside. You just do it. It calls to you. Yes, because it's routine. And so you might not know any better, but it just feels right. It's what
And I
you've
suppose
settled
when you
to do.
don't do one of the things, it feels wrong.
Yes. At least, after a while, routine can be a good thing. It's a
Well, as long
shame.
as you accept that you're going to face something with whatever you do, that nothing's going to come easy to you, and that people ain't going to fight back, you know they will.
Well, you'd be surprised. This place, this god-forsaken county, Saints Crossing, it has proven more trouble than anywhere else I've ever been in the last 7 years that I've been doing this. I've blazed through towns before like an invisible hand, without even a single word from anyone. They're just stunned into silence. And I walk into town on a Monday and I walk out on a Sunday, and no one
And the
can do
horse's name
anything.
was Friday.
Don't be flippant, Beaumont. This is a serious matter.
No, I know. I don't mean to doubt you, Angel. I've seen your work. I've seen your actions, and I've read about them. I don't take what you say lightly. I hope you know that.
Well, unfortunately, many people have before, and I've had to continue to prove my point over and over again. So maybe you can pass on some of that wisdom of yours to your colleagues, or to anyone else you meet for that matter.
Well, some might see this wisdom as fear. I wouldn't say I fear you exactly. I'm aware of you. Like I'm aware of my schedule as I'm aware of night and day. I'm aware that you will be there, that you'll do something. What I need my other deputies to do is to be there and to accept it and to fight against it.
There's no fighting against this.
We'll see.
You can't stop the tide with a broom, Beaumont.
You can build a wall against it. It will still keep coming. I'm sure it will still keep washing in, and eventually that wall will fall, and I will build another wall. I will not let you wash over the state, but I will gladly bury you beneath it.
Oh, I'm under no illusion that I'm gonna die here, Beaumont. I realized that a long time ago. But it's not time yet. Though it is coming. I'm sure you'd be relieved to hear.
Like, well, I guess we already accepted that. We're all gonna die, whether it's here or somewhere else.
Do you think you'll die here?
I'd like to say no. I'd like to be able to go back home and die old with my partner and live happily ever after, but I think because of this place, Saints Crossing, that it might be a death sentence just being here at all. But I can have hope. But when I die, I will accept my fate, whether it be here or lying in a cozy bed, drifting off on my sleep.
I'm glad. There's nothing more humiliating than begging for your life.
Well, what else are you supposed to do?
What you and I both agreed on just now. To accept it.
But death can come at any time if I beg for my life and you don't shoot me. Whenever I die, I will die. I will die swiftly. Or maybe I'll die slowly, bleeding out on the pavement. But each second I live, I'm going to be happy that I'm alive. And I'm going to try to keep living. And like you said before, you're not just going to sit down and wait for it to hit you. I'm not going to rot away on a porch chair. I'm going to live my life every day that I have it. Can't waste God's gift, right?
No one's really alive, Beaumont. And in my experience, if something's dying or dead, it's usually because they deserved it. So the only dignifying thing to do in that moment is to accept it. Whether it happens in 5 minutes from now or 5 years from now, You either fight or you die. And if you can't fight anymore, then you should die. You deserve to die.
I guess that's where my job comes in. For those that can't protect themselves.
Hmm. You know, I can tell just by the way you speak that you are on one particular side of all of this.
And what side is that?
Well, I was hoping to find Senior Deputy Grant or Sheriff Grant around because I really need to speak to them about it and about some other things. But so far, here in my time in the crossing, I've noticed two distinct groups of deputies. In one group, you have those that use those badges on your chests as shields to protect the weak, to protect those who can't protect themselves, as you put it. And then there are those who use those shields as blunt instruments to cave people's heads in with. I can tell that you use your badge as a shield. But there are
Well, I'm
others.
glad you think that, Angel. Truly.
Do you agree? Do you see that in yourself?
I think I've seen a bit of both in myself. But I would like to think that the right answer would be to use it as a shield, as it is supposed to be. But at the same time, I love shooting down people's horses. I like watching the smile wipe off people's faces after they just try to kill multiple people. But I do like helping people. I do like seeing that weight relieved from their shoulders after they find out that this criminal that has been bothering them for years on years on years is finally in the ground. Or in Sisika. But I'll take the other one. I'd like for people to see me with the shield.
I suppose actions speak louder than words. But just in your answer, you continue to justify my thoughts. Do you know if Shu or Goldie are around?
Well, I believe I just saw Shu, but then I also just saw her horse run off, so I imagine she might have gone to bed. Goldie, I'm not so sure.
I see. I'd hate to think that he's ignoring me. It's a very dangerous thing.
Don't like being ignored, Angel. Is that why you've been standing out on this porch, waiting for someone to approach you? Someone to talk to you? Someone to ask why?
Well, I came by to see if they were around, but I often see people standing on this pier Months ago, I was on top of that hotel just behind this, and I watched the former sheriff, Wainwright, speak with Sheriff Parker. I can see why now. It is a good place to chat.
It is for now until you do something heinous, and I won't allow you to step foot in any town. I'll make it my own crusade.
You'd make it your own crusade. If what?
If you did any heinous crimes.
You still don't get it, do you?
I understand, Angel. I understand that you believe what you're doing is the right thing and that God has told you directly what to do. But down here, I can't just let God's word, or what you believe to be God's word, pass.
Well, you're more than happy to watch it pass when it's a murderer dying, or a renowned bank robber dying, or if it's somebody who's harmed you or your family or one of your colleagues. Nobody bats an eye when God takes those people away.
Well, those are people that God, in his books, deem bad. I mean, all of our laws are based on the morals of the Bible, or at least some Abrahamic religion. Even though people like to doubt it, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I guess unfortunately for them, that is just how it goes.
You're almost there. Now, think to yourself about those who uphold those laws. Are they acting in the image of God? Would you say that they are godly people? Moral people, even?
No, I can't speak for the individual. I can't speak for the many. It just doesn't work. I can speak for myself and myself alone. I don't even know the insides and outs of my partner's brain, and I probably never will. That's between him and God.
So if you can only speak for yourself, how the hell is anybody meant to trust you or any of those that you work with that are far worse than you, Beaumont, in deciding who gets to live and who gets to die?
Faith. In the same way that you have faith in your God. Not that I'm saying that we should be looked to as gods by any means, but we have been given the badges because we went through trainings. We at least perceived or were shown to be following along with whatever the laws are. There are still people that walk into the department and they do wrong. And they know they do wrong. And they hide it to the best of their ability until they're caught. And they end up in the same place as every other fucking criminal. Now, when I say I don't mind watching the light go out of people's eyes once they've done enough wrong, that is my belief. That the world is a better place without them. Now, does that relate to the Bible, the Quran, any of that? No, I doubt it. But there is still influence, one way or another.
Well, then I suppose that is where we disagree. I refuse to put my faith into anything less than God.
I guess that's your God-given right. I mean, that's really all he asked for, right? Have faith in me.
Yes.
Well, Angel, I hope your piety doesn't get you killed. But I'm sure it will.
I'm sure it will as well. But it doesn't matter. I don't matter. What matters is the work.
Hmm. Well, Angel, if you do truly ever want to change your ways and see the good in the world, you let us know, okay?
I will. And if you see Shu or Goldie around, please tell them that I'm looking for them and that I'd like a conversation.
A peaceful conversation?
Yes.
And I will. You stay safe now, Angel.
You as well, Beaumont. God is watching. And then the rain coming in as the conversation ends. Holy cinema. Who's doing their directorial debut right now? Because they're cooking. They're absolutely cooking. That was an awesome conversation. I didn't even realize it was Beaumont. So that was a very nice catch up. And to have been tasked to look for Beaumont and to let Carl know and this whole shit with Delilah, that's a nice little ribbon tied off on that story. As far as I'm concerned. Amazing. Are you guys friends now? Of course not. Of course not. But Beaumont is smart. She's very smart. So. Good for her. Yeah, I'm definitely not wanted, otherwise those motherfuckers would be racing over here. I feel like I missed whatever happened with Delilah. Who was she? Delilah recap, ready? Delilah was one of the first people that Angel met when he arrived in the crossing. And gave Angel a lot of work at the start. So they became, like business associates, I guess. And, there was a lot of mutual respect between them, etc., etc., etc. And that lasted for ages, and working with Carl as well and everything. Then we find out one day that she's just been killed by the deputies. And it was Beth who told us that just randomly during a ride along one day. And it was quite shocking because I don't think any, like, Beth and Isaac didn't know that that Angel had a connection with Delilah. So this is good screenshot opportunity. Territory. So then we meet up with Carl, and Carl tells us, hey, we've had word that it was Beaumont who killed Delilah. Can you just go find her, give her some information about her, and then you know, we'll go after her and probably kill her. And I was like, yeah, Carl, no problem. I'll take that payment, whatever it is. But, you know, as always, things kind of fizzle in and out, and we just never really had the opportunity to follow up that story. And so a lot has happened since then, and now here we are, you know, like weeks later, and Beaumont is the one who comes up to talk to us here. So it's funny how things work out, I guess. Look at the sky right now. Good recap, I even put my phone down. Why are we at a pier? I mean, I just came to Blackwater to see if Shu and Goldie were around. And, because I need to speak to them before, you know, this next thing starts. And, there were a fuck ton of horses, so I just put my horse on the side of the road and just said I was going to aura farm here until somebody came to talk to us. And again, I was hoping it was, you know, either Shu or Goldie, but it was Beaumont. I'm engagement baiting, true. I'm literally an NPC on the pier with a big exclamation mark above my head. I'm like a lore object that you find in the world. I just saw a screenshot of Zeph on Maxi hitting that same fucking pose he always hits on everything. Pissing me off. Absolutely pissing me off. You make eye contact with Angel and the Pokemon battle music starts playing. Yeah, actual cutscene starts. Inbuilt silver cutscene. When are we gonna start committing more crime? Once we've spoken with either Goldie or Shu, I guess. She needs TikTok or Subway Surfers on the screen. She can. You want to know something? When I went back home for Easter, you know, I was just chilling, just fucking around, passing the time, just on my break. And I was just on my phone because I didn't take my laptop with me. I didn't have the computer around or anything. And I re-downloaded Subway Surfers just purely for the memes, because I was thinking, what is it about this game? What is it about this game that has captured the attention of millions? And I see why. I see why. It brought me back to the humble days of Temple Run and you know, other shit like that. It's so simple. Went in with a critic's mindset and came out a Subway Surfer, true. We all remember Temple Run. There really was, I mean, that to me was such a really pure time when I had my first iPod and I was in what, fucking year 7, 8? Yes, see, we're taking it back. Jetpack Joyride, Doodle Jump, Cut the Rope, that fucking little buddy game where you're like shooting rockets at him. Fuck it, yeah, Fruit Ninja. I mean, the list goes on. Where, you know, your gay OG Angry Bird, all of the Angry Birds, the Angry Birds games that they've now just completely removed. Angry Birds Rio. What do you know about Angry Birds Rio? Flappy Bird. That world does not exist anymore. That was taken from us. I'm still here, Dan. Yes, I'm still here. You left when we had the conversation with Beaumont, I think. So don't trip. But yeah, I mean, come on, man. I have the original Flappy Bird icon on my phone. I mean, I did as well. I had it on my, I think it was my iPhone 4. I kept Flappy Birds on my home screen for ages and ages, like long after the guy deleted it and all of that shit happened. Isn't that the craziest fucking thing? Like, that would never happen today. Where a guy uploads a game onto the App Store and then gets death threats because it gets so popular and then deletes the app and leaves forever. Just a crazy time. It doesn't work anymore, but it's still on my phone. I think I did like wipe that iPhone after I like upgraded, so at that point it just, yeah, it went. But I think Apple do this thing now where if an app is deleted off the App Store, it'll say this app is no longer available and then just delete it off of your phone as well. I miss those days, man. They took away my knockoff Sims 3 apps. True. Oh my god, guys, Toy Story is coming to Fortnite. Hooray. Isn't everyone excited? Kill me dead. I'm never playing that game again, by the way. I just want to put that out there. Never playing that fucking game again. Someone forcing you to play Fortnite is a Pony Pancake. Blink twice if Pony Pancakes is forcing you to play Fortnite. It's not even that, it's I was playing it like, you know, once in a blue moon, whenever something interesting was put in the store, or, you know, when a new season started, whatever, like, barely ever. And then all that news came out recently about the layoffs and how they laid off, like, a lot of the original creative directors and artists and whatever. And I didn't stop playing it because of that. I mean, that's shit, but like following that news and then looking at the game and then just realizing that it was all kind of just slop, I guess. I mean, nobody will say this, but I do think Fortnite is like the biggest slop game that exists. And it's all dressed up beautifully because they can afford to pay, you know, 1 trillion people to work on this one game. But when you really think about it, there's absolutely no soul in that game. It's all just UE5 brand collaborations. It is. It is the perfect game for selling skins. You know, you've never seen anything like it. Forget the other microtransaction games, like even the ones you know that came before it. It's just shit. So what are you gonna do? Basically Roblox, but more finish on it. I mean, at the very least, like, Roblox has, like, there's some genuine creativity, I think, behind Roblox with how you know, people can very easily like make games and put it up on Roblox and get money for it and whatever. Fortnite stole that off of Roblox, basically. Even though it's not, you know, unique to Roblox or exclusive to Roblox, they followed the same model because Roblox was making billions and billions before Fortnite was. And then, you know, it's just something that they've added because they made all their money off skins. So now you can play like Family Guy Quahog sniping on Fortnite. Yeah, it's the only reason why that exists. But it's still just all shit. And so I mean, really, I should just uninstall the Epic launcher, but I'm just keeping it on my computer just in case. But I'm not using that shit. I hate everything to do with Epic, frankly. So, when will they add RP service to Fortnite? They already have. They're already there. They're already there. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing. The Epic launcher stays installed until I beat Alan Wake. True, too. Well, I'm glad that Epic don't really seem to get that many exclusives anymore. Because as good as a 70% cut on sales sounds, I would rather give Steam 90% of my earnings and be on Steam rather than upload shit on Epic. Truly. And I truly mean that. If I was a game dev, you wouldn't catch me dead on Epic unless they offered me like $2 billion to buy my game off me. Is Alan Wake 2 really not on Steam? That's kind of ridiculous. The fuck is that? Just legendary hunters. Is that Rachel? On an off day doing some hunting, maybe. Doesn't look like Rachel. But what do I know? Nothing makes me become an old man yelling at clouds more than the idea of loading into Fortnite. I'm as good as Naruto, Master Chief, Peter Griffin, and Jinx from Arcane. I mean, I completely get it. And I think in every other world, that would be like kind of a cool thing. But it just isn't anymore, I don't think. I don't think that's like cool. It just pisses me off. It actually just pisses me off. And The Weeknd, yeah. To be fair, the Weeknd collaboration was amazing, and I did buy his shit because I loved the fucking what's that song? I can't remember the song name. I'm gonna have to find it. The Weeknd. Is it After Hours? It's not the title track, is it? For After Hours? Maybe it is. I think it is. The After Hours emote they had from on Fortnite was pretty good. After Hours is a great song, I agree. It's the one from After Hours that I keep going back to, really. I'm not a big fan of Blinding Light and the rest of it, honestly. I just like the synths and the pianos and After Hours. definitely not Blinding Lights. I do not like that song. He's had 5 collabs at this point. Yeah, I mean, he had his whole music season, and then I think they did like another pack with him. Because it was the whole gladiator mask white outfit thing, and then I think they did the... Well, the blinding... the After Hours, like, album character with the red suit and the afro. Anyway, I'm gonna leave. Damascus is getting uncomfortable. Oh no, that's another horse. Damascus is being a good boy. There he is. Do I not have a horse brush anymore? Huh. I must have thrown it away. Actually, didn't I say that I wasn't going to use a horse brush on Angel because he doesn't look after Damascus, that's the whole point. He just somehow survives. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go into the desert and I'm gonna have a little wander and look for some spots to look at for no particular reason. Spots that might be a little out of sight, out of mind. 24 hours in which I got excited for a new The Stroke single, and then it was Auto-Tune Slop was the experience. Is that what I saw the other day where everybody was going crazy? They're like, oh my god, a new Strokes album is coming soon. Was it The Strokes? I don't listen to The Strokes. I've heard of the band name, but I don't really know who they are. Tell you the truth. The last album was pretty good. I don't know. I do feel like at some point soon, well, I mean, saying that, I was going to say at some point soon I'm going to start to, like, I'm going to have to deliberately sit down and start finding new music, because I genuinely feel that for the last maybe 6 months, all I've done is play Have a Nice Life and Deftones on fucking repeat. I need to branch out. It is boring, it is a chore. But I did find an album recently that people were saying was very good, and I listened to it and it was very good. It was an EDM album from, oh fuck me if I remember her name, Nina it's like Nina Geraci. Is that her? Her album from last year, I Love My Computer, I think it's called. Very good album. Very good album. I feel like I haven't listened to EDM in ages, and yeah, that went pretty hard, so good for her. And I've finally got around to listening to A$AP Rocky's recent album as well. And I was saddened to see that a song of his that I like was not on the album. It's just an unreleased song of his. A$AP? Yes, sir. Rocky? Yes, sir. Welcome to Austin, Texas, A$AP. You know, you've brainwormed me with that, Ellie. I hope you realize. Because you used to say it a fuck ton. Classic Nardwar. Rappers releasing their best work, then deciding it should actually never be uploaded anywhere. I hate it. I can't stand it. I can't stand the fact that Boyfriend, Tyler the Creator's track, is exclusively on the Igor vinyl. I mean, are we fucking for real? I could easily get Igor on vinyl, and the only reason I haven't is because he has re-released... I mean, he re-released Wolf for the... I don't know what anniversary or whatever. As a huge fucking, like, box set, and I bought that shit, and I thought he was gonna do the same with Flower Boy and Igor, but I guess not. I do have a vinyl player, it's a Audio-Technica one. It's got some fuck-off string of letters and numbers as a name. You seem like a vinyl person? What does that mean? Excuse me. It means what it means. Amazing. You seem like you would collect vinyls. You know, I never understood it until I started, and then I thought to myself, yeah, this feels good. Because I don't feel like that about, you know, games or films or any other, like, media that is, like, at this point mainly digital, but there are physical versions of it. But when it comes to vinyl, I think it's awesome. Like, the listening quality is different, and it's just cool to have the, just to see the artwork and shit, like, really big up, you know? And you know, like, when you follow an artist, you get to see their work all the time. When you play a game, you get to just play the game and see every little detail and whatever the fuck. But when you're listening to a song, it's like, okay, I'm listening to the song and that's it. Even if you really, really love a song or really love an album, but then these music artists will make a vinyl album and it's got extra shit inside, and it, you know, it's got like a little booklet, you know, or some art or some shit, and you would never see it or be able to buy it unless you, like, bought the vinyl. Like, I don't buy every fucking album that I like to listen to. I do tend to stick with, like, you know, special editions or official like re-releases, things like that, you know. I'm very lucky I've been able to buy Channel Orange and Blonde now from Blondit because he re-released both of those on vinyl. So it's shit like that that I tend to go for. I don't really give a fuck about buying a vinyl for the sake of buying a vinyl. I do treat it as like a collectible thing. I was like on the way to the till with a vinyl player like 6 months ago, and then went to buy a few vinyls to start off with, and they were like 40 quid each, and unfortunately I'm a brokey, the dream died. I mean, yeah, it's expensive as shit. Especially if you're buying like any sort of particular edition, it's ridiculous. But I've been collecting little vinyl discs here and there over the last, what, 3 years? 4 years? So over time it adds up. And you know, I'm happy to spend the money on it. Like, for example, okay, this is so niche. I hope it's not too niche. Everybody knows Vsauce, right? The classic Michael Stevens YouTuber, right? He exclusively, well, not exclusively, but pretty much exclusively collaborates with an electronic artist called Jake Chudnow. And this motherfucker's like elusive, but I love his music. He uploads a lot of shit to SoundCloud, but there's like barely anything on Spotify, you know, whatever. And he has a little EP, and it's only 2 songs, called Shona. And I love those 2 tracks. And he released a vinyl of Shona years and years ago, very limited, and hasn't released like anything else since in terms of like physical media. And then a few years ago, he collaborates with Vsauce again and his Curiosity Box like business, and releases his entire music collection through the Curiosity Box, and it's a fucking massive, like, it's like 5-6 discs worth of music. And it was like 200 and something odd quid. And you're damn right I bought that shit, because I just know how rare it's gonna be, you know? I know for a fact how rare it's gonna be. And it is rare now. You can't buy that shit. At least as far as I know. And the people reselling it, they're gonna fucking whack up the prices, but I don't intend on reselling it at a crazy price. That shit is just for me to enjoy, for my listening pleasure. Okay? So, I wish I had the brain to appreciate music more than I like the way the guitar sounds. Yeah, but you don't need to be all fancy, you know? You don't need to be like, oh, I love the quartet in this verse. Those are words, right? That makes sense as a sentence. You know, you just like what you like. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not a, you know, expert, but I still am happy to invest in the music, because I think they deserve it. You forget sometimes that there's a whole map over here. Vinyls as a collectible are cool. I feel like it's same as books. It's still popular even though using a Kindle is 10 times easier. Yeah, and I think with vinyls as well, it's like old enough of a technology that's still around where it is quite cool to collect. Whereas I don't personally buy into people collecting cassettes or CDs. I think that is just like true old tech that I don't give a fuck about. I'm not going out to buy a cassette player to listen to that shit. I will say though, I bought the Arc Raiders soundtrack on cassette because they released their merch store and all of their merch is shit apart from the fact that they released their soundtrack on a cassette and it looks awesome and it makes sense for the story because, like, you know, they have a lot of cassette shit in Arc Raiders, so that's cool. But you know, I'm never gonna buy a cassette player. I couldn't care less. Channel Orange and Blonde is a flex. They were pretty expensive, I'm not gonna lie. It's like 60 quid each, something like that. Blonde was 80. But they're just so rare. Like anything Frank related is just disgustingly rare. Like to an annoying degree. Nothing worse than finding artists who has morals, so that shit is not on Spotify. I discovered a band recently that I really wanted to listen to, and I was like, why is this shit not on Spotify? And then I googled it, and it was like, this band has taken all of their music off of Spotify because they don't like the fact that the CEO is using AI. I was like, fuck. Okay, fine. I can't remember what the name of the band is though. It's like something Black Emperor. Godspeed You Black Emperor. I really wanted to listen to these guys, but they took all of their shit off of Oh, they're in London and Leeds in April. Wait, April is now. They're in Leeds tomorrow and London the day after. Well, it's too fucking late. Godspeed you. London Leeds at the same time. Holy. You know, there is an island that looks like one of these islands down there. And it has some crazy, like, voodoo shit on it. I want to see if I can find it. But I think it's further this way. That band is so U-coded. Well, I listened to a bit of their music. And I was like, this is pretty good. And then I went to listen to more. And it didn't exist. So I think you can actually get to these islands. You just have to traipse through the water for a bit. Oh, I think that is the island. Because it has that crazy, like, sacrifice rock over there. Can I get to that? Should I try? Where are we on the map? Yeah, it's this one. Looks a bit like Angel's hat upside down. East Hastings by them is pure cinema. I'll take your word for it. Wish we had a bridge to Mexico like we did in the Frontier. I mean, people have ported over Nueva Paradiso to Audio 2. But the ports that I've seen are pretty shit, frankly. And, well, Wild does everything custom, so they're not buying any MLOs anytime soon. Scaring the host by getting the orcs and playing an 18-minute song that instills dread. Yeah, me putting on the 21-minute ambient track that's my favorite song of all time. And I'm asked to pull over and to drop the person off. Holy cinema. Cassettes are ugly and annoying though, to be honest. It'd be fun until you had to rewind it for the first time. Yeah, but there's players that rewind it, right? To like play from the start. I think it's quite cute, but yeah. I do think vinyl is just still take the cake, as it were. I just want to have a look at this coastline. I gotta find a way down to the coastline. Is there a way to do that? Am I gonna have to, like, skirt around the edges, yeah? Like a dwug? Probably. Rewind my Teletubbies tapes. Oh no. Aha! Here we go. If this isn't a screeny op, I don't know what is. I'm farming. We farmed? How do I get further down? Does it walk over there? That looks fucking ridiculous. If I die out here, I'm gonna be so pissed. I just have to make that clear. I don't think there is a way in the normal game to, like, get over to these places. I think, like, the devs have actually set up these little walkways so that you, you're gonna have to walk over them. That's why I look so precarious walking over these at some points. Because they're not regular geometry that you can just walk on. It's just objects that they've placed neatly. Biggest tragedy about listening to Godspeed You Black Emperor and music like that is if you try to listen to them on low volume, you will not be hearing shit. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna be blasting them directly into my ear canals with my Sennheiser headphones. Just to feel something. Just to feel something. Just looked up Godspeed You Black Emperor, and now I feel a sense of unease. Going to stick to Ariana, I think. Yeah, that's okay. Ariana grenade. Is there a nicer way to get down? Doesn't look like it. Tinnitus gaming. Is it tinnitus or is it tinnitus? It's gotta be tinnitus, right? Do you actually just have to like swim over here? Surely I don't drown, right? I mean, you know, never have an excuse to come over to these places. Not once. But these are out in the desert and they're very occult. And very interesting, so there's definitely a use for all of this. Is that a yellow belly salamander? Look, I mean, no spoilers, but this is how I want to go out, okay? I want deputies to come here to the final boss arena where I'm just stood here and they have to duel me. Isn't this sick? Tiny Tuss if you're British, I think. Or are you saying Tinny Tuss? I don't know. Actual boss arena. So you've got the boss arena over there for rituals, and then you have the final ritual place here. Could get married there? Suppose you could. Yeah, this is like an aisle, I guess. Not what I was thinking, but you know. The game over screen after you lose to Angel and you see him standing at the end of the path aura posing. Yeah, like one of those really old games. Wait. What? Shu and Goldie going to renew their vows and Angel is officiating? Something like that. Something like that. This is very cozy. Oh, if I knew this place existed, I could have done the coolest fucking thing ever, man. I really could have. You may now shoot the bride, cinema. Get out of the writer's room. Stop leaking the script, you motherfucker. You may now shoot the bride is gonna be the worst fucking line I've ever read in my life. That's brilliant. Oh, this is perfect now, though. Isn't this just the best? It's got all these creepy fucking things. What is this over here? Oh, target practice. Wow. You need that? Shut up. No, I don't. I would have been hit in the WWE writers' room early 2000s. Yeah, maybe you're right. Born too late, I'm afraid then. Born too late. Well, IMO, this is a perfect spot for what we plan on getting into, I think, frankly, so. WWE writers' room, writing the most cliche plotline and going, holy shit, we done it again. Yeah, and you know what? It was heat every single time. Every single time. I was eating it up. Me watching Shawn Michaels betray his best friend again for the 18th time this month. And I'm standing up and I'm cheering in real life. I'm fist pumping the air, cheering. Not a phone in sight. Just me living in the moment. Kid me lost his shit watching Batista thumbs down Triple H. Thinking it's big video. Me, Soy Jack, pointing at the screen when somebody goes through the table at another contract signing. I've seen this 500 times before. Absolute cinema. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I thought Randy was gonna put Cody through the table, but instead he killed him on live TV. I wasn't expecting that. Is anyone called Randy in real life? Yeah. I mean, yes, but also I completely understand what you're saying, because who the fuck is calling their child Randy? I feel like unless your child grows up to be Randy Orton, it is a complete nightmare. You know, I've just thought of something fucking insane, and I think I might do it. I've just had the best idea I think I've ever had in my life. Oh. My dad takes offense to that statement. There's no fucking way, out of all the people watching, somebody does have a relative called Randy. There's no way. How unlucky is that? Well, on behalf of everyone, Liz, I apologize. It's just an uncommon name that might have gone maybe a little out of fashion in our current day and age. His name is Randall. He goes by Randy. Ah, okay. Is that what Randy is? No, because I don't think Randy Orton is called Randall Orton, and they just call him Randy, right? Like, that's not a thing. Godspeed is so you-coded, I forgot I had the tab open, I assumed it was your Angel playlist. Well, I mean, this might be the new obsession. This might be what takes me out of Have a Nice Life. I mean, I doubt it, because I'm so Have a Nice Life coded, but maybe it is, who knows? Randall Keith Orton is his full name. Damn. Well, there you have it. I guess you can't just call your child Randy. It is a nickname for Randall. You know, my hay fever is like acting up so much. I mean, I've taken antihistamine, so I'm okay. But, I'm like so sniffly that I'm mistaking my sniffles for gunshots. That's the level of RP we're at. That's the level of paranoia we're at. Who's that? You know, nobody comes down to Armadillo anymore. It's quite sad. These Siggies. Well, 3-stream streak. Me playing Marathon and thinking every sound is footsteps, honestly. I mean, that's the level it gets to. Murdoch's trying to revive it? Yeah, I just remember, like, in kind of the later stages of Kane, Armadillo completely popped off. But I think, you know, we did have Shu and Wild stationed there, and they were there a lot, and the whole Mercer thing was really at its peak at that point, so it makes sense. Who's that? Looked like Callie. But what was I saying? Yeah, I mean, it was just busy at that time, so a lot of people were around Armadillo. But now it's just kind of dead. I'm gonna have one last trip over to Blackwater to see what's going on, and then probably loop back to the church, finish up. I'm not gonna leave this whole conversation going for too long. Like, I do want to keep the story moving, but it doesn't really matter at the moment if things take a little bit longer than I'm hoping, because I do have some RP stuff to prepare, but yeah, I mean, hopefully over the next, you know, couple weeks, next few weeks, we can start making some big moves and face the consequences of them all. Quite looking forward to it. Wagon? Is that an NPC wagon? I think it is. I'm gonna leave him pass. Because he's riding like a fucking bat out of hell. More Allegile RP. I mean, listen. I don't think there's going to be any more Allegile RP, frankly. And I think the next time we're in Sisika, it'll be the last time we're in Sisika. So we have to be very careful. With what we do. Very careful indeed. I've laughed about that daily since that stream. Was it really that funny? Me asking if the fucking huge gator... Oh my god, this guy. Me asking if the gator was an alligator or a crocodile, and then Bren saying maybe it's both, and then me saying allegile. It was just the way Angel said it. That was a fun session, you know, even though it was a little dead for a majority of it. The fact that we, you know, actually, got some RP out of people in the end was really cool. Big moves coming, and it's Angel getting thrown to Sisika again, so Sean wraps up Angel and John Storen and quits Wild. Yeah, I accidentally fall off a cliff, and I'm wanted for 101 days, and they put me in Sisika. So I RDM everyone on the server and leave. Cinema. Could you perhaps go and eliminate someone? Well, we have been doing that, Sigus, but we're at a point now where we're considering more meaningful actions, I guess, would be the best way to put it. I don't really want to spoil the plans, but can you please draw a name from a hat? Yes, I will. Someone's on a horse there. Is that Von Kleist? I think it is. Don't know who any of these people are. Is that Julian? No telegrams. Hello, Von Kleist.
Hello, Angel.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you talking.
I'm not talking to just my horse, and if so, I would be speaking German.
Right, apologies. Well, don't leave me interrupt your conversation. I just wanted to say hello.
Appreciate it. Hello.
I hope you're having a good day. I might see you around again soon.
Yeah. Wouldn't call it a good one, but a day certainly.
Only thing we can hope for these days. Is the ship name Bangel or Angeth? I don't think either work, I'm afraid. I don't think either work. It's a shame. Bangel. Okay. It sounds awful though. It sounds like a car part, you know? Oh, I had to get a new Bangel put in. Cost me 250 quid. Sorry, I've just spotted the screenshot opportunity. I have to take it. Oh, wait, with the head animation going down. That's the play. Please, please, please. Do it again. Oh, the God rays have gone. It's over. Is it raining? That's pretty. Bangel. Come on. You gotta farm them when you can. I'm gonna have a wander through Straubs and other places and then probably just head back to the church and wrap it up. We had our convo with Beaumont, but yeah, I figure everybody else is just away. So. Angel. Wagon. Fucking Julian. I don't remember thanking you, but yeah, my daily random Julian encounter. I mean, I don't know what Julian's up to these days. Because, I mean, I really don't know the details, and I can kind of figure... I mean, I can intuit what's happened, but that whole thing between Mercer and, like, St. John and Margot and that whole fucking huge thing, Reeves, like, all the rest of it, I think that went nowhere. Am I right in thinking that? Like, that seemed to have just died, like, completely fell off a cliff. Unless, you know, it truly did end and people moved on, I don't know. What exactly? I mean, it seemed like there was a big fuss between, like, St. John, Margot, Julian, Flo, Reeves, like, all of that shit, and all of the Mercer shit. And the law getting involved as well, and Danny. And, I don't know. Like... Was there anything more to that, or did it just kind of end naturally? Because I thought there was a huge feud or something. Mercer stopped playing, and I think Azza and Leah just kind of got burnt out. Yeah, I don't think either of them have played in a good while now, so don't think it was that huge. Yeah, maybe it just seemed like it. Like watching, I guess, and hearing about it. But, yeah, I don't know. I was just wondering. Because, you know, a lot of people put, like, time into the build-up of stories, and then when they don't go anywhere, it's, like, the worst feeling, so I was just curious. To them and Julian, you just kind of stopped getting involved, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, you know, if it was just that, then it was just that, you know. Where does Angel live? Oh, Blackwater. No. Fake fan alert. Fake fan alert. I mean, he lives, quote unquote, technically at the church in Armadillo. I'm a John fan. This guy's just full of troll. Who would have thought that John would be the star of the show for Dog Season 2? Who would have thunked? The story was still there, but so much crazy shit happened for the two groups individually or rapid that I kind of just didn't get the chance to shine. Yeah, and there was the whole roads thing that they were attacking roads. I don't know what came of that, because Mick was visited John about it and was like, I'm gonna have to give up the sheriff to save the town. I was like, well, chill. That was my advice to him. I said, chill. I don't know what came of that, but yeah, who knows what's happening. Good problem to have. The amount of RP the two groups got, but I'm not surprised people will stop playing basically, for at least the time being. Yeah, I mean, you know, like everything, it goes through phases. I think a lot of shit happened, you know, pretty consistently for a few months there, and then, yeah. I think a lot of people are just, going through the motions, I guess. With it all? I don't know. Who is that? Yeah, we've discussed this plenty of times. Same old. Is that Panther? Stopping by Limpany. Are there people in Limpany? There's quite a lot of people. Holy shit. Huh. We're farming. I think that's Solace, maybe? Question mark? Hello. I'm gonna look at the job one. That guy's still looking for under-sheriff weapons. Anything new?
Looking for something specific?
No, I just came to see if there was anything interesting. I noticed a lot of people in town, so thought I'd stop by.
Yeah. There might be law showing up. We're not sure, because we just got out of a situation, just so you're aware.
You just got out of a situation.
Well, that's it. We were just helping.
What, here? Just now?
No, not here. Over the rigs.
Right. I'm assuming they were just going after them because they're still so wanted.
Yeah, they showed up in Thieves a couple hours ago. That's it was there. Didn't want them to leave. And you know how these things usually go.
Yeah. Did you see Beth?
Yeah.
She alright?
Well, she's probably on her way to Sisica at this moment.
Wait, really? They got him?
No, just her. Beth split up from them because she's in no condition to fight, but Colt Matthews, one of the deputies, apparently noticed that she wasn't there, split off from his group and chased after her. Lynn and I ran into her at Rick's. And all of a sudden, we just hear a shot. The horse goes down, and on top of the hill is Colt Matthews. Shot the horse on purpose and pushed all the right buttons together to fight him. She told us we should back off and she's gonna handle it.
For God's sakes. How long ago did you say this was?
Now about 40 minutes. An hour.
Alright. I'm gonna head over that way. See what I can see. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, no worries.
I try not to get involved, but... well, if there's an opportunity, I can't help but take it.
I mean, we wanted to get involved. We had them all surrounded, but Beth insisted on us not doing anything. But to be granted, she was pretty injured. She collapsed after the fight, so... we all made a call there to not do anything, so she would get medical treatment.
Alright. Well, I appreciate you letting me know either way. I'm gonna head over to the city then. I'll see you around.
Careful, there's a lot of law around, if you are wanted.
I'm not wanted at the moment, but
Oh,
well,
alright.
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, if you ever have more guns to sell or anything, just come back.
Yes, well, I did at one point, but they took them back, so I'm not
Oh,
sure I'll have
well.
much to offer here anymore.
No, you don't have to, I'm just saying,
Hello,
if
Angel.
you do.
Well then, no, well, this is the first place I'll visit if I do. Don't worry.
Alright, sounds good.
You take it easy now.
You as well.
We're gonna get breath black, and I'm gonna kill anyone who gets in the way. We're gonna get breath black. Why is it dead? My stream started. You good? Hello? The ship is not dead. The ship's dead when I say the ship's dead. "40 minutes ago, and we were lollygagging. We were kicking rocks in Strawberry instead of saving the Pookie Bear." Come on, boys, let's go. Instead of saving the Schnookums. God, imagine if Angel actually called her that. I'd kill her and then myself in the video game. Someone cut his mic. Ship's not dead because Angel hasn't killed it. True. So true. I just want to have a look at Saint Denis or, you know, elsewhere to see if they're mid-transport or something. Hey, sweetheart, as I want to crawl out of my skin. But that's sweet, though. That's sweet. Well, maybe not Angel. Maybe not Angel saying it. I just Angel just would not go in for that kind of shit. He's too psychopathic. Leave her alone. We're just gonna have a little look-see, okay? Sup, Pokey? I mean, maybe we can aura farm her as she's getting transported, you know what I mean? Maybe we can just be on the coast and she spots us, you know, from far away. And who knows, maybe we can find Goldie and Chew on the way. Wouldn't that be nice? I just want to talk to them as I'm loading both revolvers, yeah. Ask her if these guys are bothering her. She's handcuffed to a fuck off prisoner transport. Are these guys bothering you? Back off. Last warning. And then I get RDM'd and banned. Well, there's a lot of people here. Is that law? Are they on a prisoner transport?
Oh boy, not on a fucking wagon.
Get on!
There's a whole different world out there, isn't there? A whole different world. Goodness me. Maybe that was the prisoner transport that they took Beth on and they've just brought it back and now they're chasing those people. Can we deduce that? Is that deduction? Hi, Tilky. Shoe in there?
Excuse me, Mr. Angel.
You need something?
Yeah, just wanted to have a chat. My friends here wanted to have a chat with you about you being potentially wanted.
Oh, for God's sake. I haven't done a goddamn thing since leaving Sisika. That was, what, a few days ago?
How come you're still listed as wanted? Yeah, could
I
you double
truly
check,
have
please?
no
Thank you.
idea.
Well, I am inclined to believe you, Angel. You are the type to not lie about things you've done, at least from what I believe.
Believe me, Vero, I would not be traipsing through town if I was.
Not in your usual getup, anyway.
Quite right.
Yeah.
Well, if it is for something, it might be something minor that's happened over the last few days. I know you deputies get angsty, even if I'm just around somebody who's wanted.
Being around somebody who's wanted ain't a crime. Doing crime with them, though, is a crime.
Understood. Well, if that's the case, then you shouldn't have a problem with me.
We're about to find out, sir. We're just doing our due diligence.
I understand. Tell me, you haven't seen Shu or Goldie around today, have you?
They were around, yeah.
Or are they still around?
I believe so. Yeah.
Any idea where?
Now that's something I don't know. Last I saw them was a few hours ago. Was in Blackwater. But, not so sure where they are now.
Maybe they're just busy, as you always are.
Yeah, well, you know, Shu. Sheriff and all.
No time for me anymore. Well, what's the news?
Well, you do have a minor charge, it seems, for aiding and abetting. You were spotted speaking with Beth, not too far from Moonstone Pond. You both came down together, and in order to give Beth an opportunity to escape, you decided to strike up a conversation and step forward in her stead, giving the opportunity to flee. So you have one really little charge of aiding and abetting 40 days.
Excellent. I
Now,
want
if
you to...
you
Please do me a favor before you continue. I want you to get up off your horse, walk right back to your office, and throw that piece of paper in the trash. Can you do that for me? God forbid I have a conversation with a friend of mine. Oh, wow. Everything all right?
Just moving away from the wagon is all.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Let's.
yours just gets a little
Should we take this over to the to this parlor house, where it's a little more quiet?
Sure.
Now, as I was saying, I want you to take that file of yours and incinerate it in the nearest fireplace. I was just talking to Beth, and we were on our way back down from the mountain after our conversation. She had to turn back for whatever reason, and I came down and I said hello to the deputies that were there, but most of them just walked on by. They didn't even say a word to me, which only goes to show that no one's interested in a conversation. All of you, you're just out for your arrests, trying to justify your wages.
Well, first of all, Angel, I don't take orders from you. Second of all, based on what the file said, and if you understand the definition of aiding and abetting, and what that consists of, it certainly matches the description of your actions, providing a means of distraction so that you aid a wanted criminal to escape.
I think you've lost it. I think your whole department has lost it. How is it my fault that Beth turns around and goes back up the mountain and disappears after I go down to speak to your deputies and I get ignored? Doesn't really sound like I'm trying to keep them from the arrest because they weren't deterred. They walked past me as if I was nothing. So
Right,
if there's somebody to blame for not making the arrest on Beth, it's the deputies for not brushing past me even quicker than they already did.
All right. Let's play into that then. Why did you want to speak to the deputies? You just wanted to say hello? Because based on the way you're talking to me right now, it doesn't necessarily seem like you're very amicable towards deputies. So why did you want to speak to the law? What did you
No.
have to say?
I'm not amicable
Just a
towards
hello?
deputies. Look, I'm happy to have a conversation at any time, anywhere with anyone who's willing to have a conversation back. But those deputies, I couldn't even get another word out after hello because they kept walking past as if I didn't even exist. The only thing that anyone ever said to me was, your new deputy, Maxie, at the end of the group, who said, maybe another time, Angel, as they all continued up the mountain.
So it's almost as if Rarity was the wanted criminal that you were in company with.
Yes, well, clearly they saw Beth and they saw a new story for the paper, a new paycheck ready to be cashed. They weren't gonna let little old me stop them, especially because I wasn't even wanted at the time. That was only a few hours after I was released from Sisika. Do you honestly think I'd be that stupid to raise up another charge so soon after my release? Come on, you're both smarter than that.
Right. So I don't appreciate being discredited with my theory here, because why on earth would the deputies stop to have a chat with someone who's known to torture and maim deputies and be in the company of wanted criminals? They were there for a job, Angel, not for idle social calls. Of course you're not going to priority.
Look, if you're gonna slap an aiding and abetting charge on me for saying hello to deputies and then I get ignored, then I'm gonna have to speed up my work even more because that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I'm not inclined on arguing charges with the two of you because frankly I don't care. You can lock me up for the rest of my life if that's what you think you need to do. But this, what are you, bored?
I'm just concerned is all.
Right. Well, I can assure you that at this moment, I am not to be concerned with. I'm not up to anything. All I want is a conversation with your sheriff and your senior deputy. I haven't laid a finger on anyone since getting off of that island.
Alright.
Sure.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, get out of here. I'm gonna let you and William know that you're looking for him. I'm gonna try and talk to the deputies that gave you the charge.
Yes, please do. And if there's any other questions, feel free to telegram me because you have it on your records and I have nothing to hide. Take care now.
Take care.
Look, I am not one to argue charges. I'm not one to RP check, but fuck that. Are you serious? An aiding and abetting charge? Go watch the fucking VOD, man. Hello? I told Beth to come down with me. I say, hello, deputies. They all ignore me. And I'm like, hello? Do you guys not want to have a chat? And they just went up for Beth. And I get fucking aiding and abetting for that. The thing is, this is just going to play into Angel's delusions even more. These guys are clearly rampant, and they need to be put down like the fucking dogs that they are, frankly. Becoming Angel build. Honestly. I'm not going to complain. I mean, you know, I truly don't give a fuck. But I'm not taking 40 days for that bullshit. I'm not giving weight to that. Because that's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now I want to go and do something to warrant me being wanted. Yeah, God forbid I greet my fellow RPer. Cool conversation. Yeah, no, I mean, Vera and Nightman are awesome. And you know, it's not their fault. And again, I don't want them to interpret it like, oh, the serial killer is arguing petty crimes, because again, I don't give a fuck and he wouldn't give a fuck, but you know, I've been waltzing around thinking I'm not wanted when actually I've just been hit with that bullshit charge. So it's just, yeah. You know, if I don't know I'm wanted, I can't, I can't RP properly. I can't make informed decisions like that if I'm getting given charges like that, like ridiculous fucking charges. Glass would never true. I mean, like, surely the write-up there is Angel and Beth were found up near Amberino. Angel came down to say hello. Deputies ignored Angel and went up the mountain. Immediately, Beth was nowhere to be found. Like, has fucking Von Kleist been hit with aiding and abetting then? Because she was still up there, just looking over the ridge line. I don't know.
Howdy.
Evening. I mean, you know, like, the thing is, if I had that, if I was given that charge in Sisika, if somebody said, right, Angel, you're off killing this guy, you got a charge for aiding and abetting here with Beth on this date, I would have asked about it, but I would have taken the arrest. But, like, I'm not being wanted now when I'm meant to be not wanted. And I'm trying to, like, seek out peaceful conversations with deputies when I've got a charge over my head. That just doesn't make sense. Like, it affects the RP that I want to do because they're not going to take the requests seriously at that point. Yes, can I help you?
Your name's Angel, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Have we met before?
I don't believe we have. No, yeah, we have. We've met on the Valentine porch before.
Oh, have we?
Yeah. Beth McManus and a few other people.
Right. What was your name?
Jesse.
Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse Collins.
Well, it's good to see you again, Deputy Collins. How can I help?
It's come to my attention that I believe you are wanted for aiding and abetting right now.
Yes, I just had an excellent conversation with Deputies Vero and Nightman in Rhodes about it, and I must tell you, Deputy Collins, I am not happy. It's a ridiculous charge.
Okay. You want to tell me why?
Well, I've told your other deputies about it, and they have said that they're going to reach out to the others, so I wouldn't want to waste your time.
Okay. Understandable. Well, in that case, I will go ahead and update the paperwork. Because I don't want you to be unjustly harassed if that's the case. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that you feel like you were charged unjustly.
Look, I don't care what your department pins on me. Hell, if I was thrown up onto that island of yours and that charge was read out to me, I wouldn't be bothered. Because it doesn't matter if I'm in there for 100 days worth of time or 1,000 days worth of time. But when I'm trying to reach out to a few of your colleagues to have an honest conversation, and I have charges looming over my head, it doesn't give much credence to my word. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up. Otherwise, you can write down whatever you want on your paperwork.
I understand. Yeah, I understand that. I'm not in the business of trying to stick charges on people. That's just not who I am. That's not why I do this work. I don't care to see anyone rack up thousands of days on my watch just for the sake of it. So if you have been unjustly charged, then I'll see to it that at least it's set so that you aren't approached by every single deputy who might recognize you by that white coat and that hat.
Well, I don't mind being approached. Maybe one of these days, Shu or Goldie will approach me and ask about it, and then we can have a conversation. But I'm not bullshitting you either, Collins. You can ask Vero and Nightman.
I don't doubt that. You didn't strike me on the porch that day as the type of fellow who would bullshit just for the sake of it, nor do you now. I think if you were wanted and you knew you'd done it, you'd either, well, we'd probably have a conversation or you'd be hightailing out of town right now and deal with things a different way, potentially, but I don't know you well enough to know if that's the case. However, I don't think you're lying to me.
No, I certainly wouldn't be waltzing around Valentine if I was wanted, believe you me.
Okay. Well, I'll see to it that I get that paperwork updated the right way until a decision's been made, and I'm sure you'll hear from plenty of people once it has been.
Good. I look forward to it. Thank you,
Okay.
Collins.
You're welcome. You have a good day.
You as well. Fuck me. Should I just go home? Because I'm Fucking, I've had enough. I go in a strawberry. Excuse me, you're Angel, ain't you? Then I RDM him. And then I RDM him. Do you know what it is? They've probably sent out a tip saying, hey, Angel's around and he's wanted for aiding and abetting. If you do see him, get him gonked. I know I have to play lawyer RP. Nothing against anyone, but that charge based on the events really should not have been in the paperwork to start with. I mean, aiding and abetting charges are extremely contentious. Because there's a lot of crime and relationship RP that very much skirts the line of aiding and abetting, and it's hard for people to determine what that might be. So like I'm not mad. Like I said, I don't give a fuck if people want to stick aiding and abetting on, fine, but like I'm gonna argue my case because it's affecting the RP that I'm currently doing, and I think it's just wrong to be hit with aiding and abetting when all I did was have a conversation with someone, ride down from a mountain and say hello. The thing is, if they had been like, if that whole group of 6 actually stopped and were like, Angel, fancy seeing you here, what are you up to? Who was that up there you were talking to? And Angel was like, me? Talking to someone? No, I was just admiring the views up there. I wasn't with anyone. Like, aiding and abetting, clearly. But I got fucking donor walled, and they still lost them. So, fuck that. I mean, completely fuck that. I can't give a more clearer example than that. If the whole group of deputies stopped in their tracks and actually had a full-blown conversation with Angel, and he started lying about what he had just done, that's aiding and abetting. I think everything else is a little overzealous. Who was that? Imagine he turns around. You're Angel, ain't you? You wanted fuck. Which means where I can see him. You were stood in front of the sheriff's office in Blackwater. Why would she not have said then? I don't think Beaumont knew Angel was wanted. And she probably hasn't checked for a while and didn't bother checking. I mean, the amount of times on Kane where I, like, was speaking to people and I had no idea they were wanted. It's just crazy. It's just not something you really keep track of unless you're like, okay, let me look at the wanted list today and see all of the people that I interact with and let's see if they're wanted. There's much more important shit to do. Yeah, it's nothing, but like I like I said, I don't care. It's and I fucking hate arguing charges. I can't stand arguing charges RP. It drives me up the fucking wall because it's so boring and it's so gameplay, and I just, yeah. But at the moment I'm like actually trying to like talk to people and, you know, have the kind of annoying vibe of like, Angel's a murderer, but he is technically free to just wander around towns now, and he's utilizing that because he wants to be seen and he wants to find the people that he wants to find to talk to. and to have that like uneasiness and to see if anybody like actually kicks him out of town, even if he's not wanted, like things like that. But if it's just like, yeah, Angel, you're just wanted, so you know, do you want to come to the office and then we gotta do the fucking song and dance for aiding and abetting? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Anyway, I'm just gonna fucking rip corded back to the church, man. I didn't even end up getting to Saint Denis because I had to do arguing charges RP. I didn't even get to see if Beth was still there. Fuck me. Whatever. I don't care. That's so funny. It's okay, it's okay, it is annoying. I mean, you know, I'm just presenting my case. It's you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's just nothing. But you know, I never argue charges. I don't like doing it, but you know, that's all. This is one of my favorite parts of the map. The telegraph poles. Wait, is that why you're saying it? Oh god, it is, isn't it? Fuck, fell for it again, award. Damn. Like, if, you know, if Nightman and Vero go back and they're like, hey, Angel was arguing these charges, and then they come back and say, no, those charges are absolutely valid. At that point, like, I'm not taking it any further. Like, I'll tell people, hey, I think these charges are bullshit, but I'm not gonna be like, you know, get rid of these charges and ban these fuckers, because, like, you know, it's just RP, I don't care. If they want to slap on aiding and abetting, then slap on 2 charges. You know? The world's your oyster. It doesn't bother me. But yeah, I know I'm gonna argue my case if it's that wrong, you know? You know, if they stuck on a torture charge when I like shot Bailey or shot Rachel, even though I didn't torture them, I wouldn't argue that. You can fight, you can stick on whatever you like. You know, I'm happy for you to use whatever justification you need and, you know, you can have that weight, but shit like this? No, no thanks. I'm good. Can you add a torture charge for overplaying Ave Maria? I think you are just Ave Maria brainwormed and you're like deliberately listening out for it. Ave Maria is 6 minutes out of the 2.5-hour playlist, Ellie, so I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. Can't wait for Sean to reveal the playlist and it's all Ave Maria. That's 3% Ave Maria. I think that's negligible, really. I would think. I can't wait for my fucking groceries to get here tomorrow, man. I've come back from my break and like my cupboards and my fridge is like the classic cartoon thing where you open up the cupboard and it's just cobwebs. Like actually me right now. How much mint sauce did you order? A grand total of 0 milliliters. I got a chippy, and I sent a picture of it to Leah and Azza said, get some mint sauce on that. Who the fuck is putting mint sauce on a chippy? Is he off his head? The answer is yes. Where did you get it delivered from? Just a local place by me. I've never ordered a chippy before. I haven't had one in like fucking God knows how long. But it was nice. The jumbo sausage wasn't particularly jumbo, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, your groceries. Asda. I'm an Asda shopper. They're pretty good. I've had good experience with Asda. I'm gonna send one telegram to Beth. And then we'll wrap it up. Hearing Azza describe foods no public schools would serve while he went to a public school was really funny. The fact that he's just like, oh yes, I had the most amazing butterscotch tart with a little chocolate button on top. Do you remember that? Do you remember that in school where we all wore our blazers and had our butterscotch tarts? What the fuck? No, man. I had cake and custard and cold pasta from the canteen, like every other gamer. Say hi to the alligator for me. It's too late. It's too late. Can you imagine receiving a Discord DM the way Angel types telegrams? That would be report worthy. Truly. I feel like I was getting stalked and that I was about to die. Angel telegrams like a Discord scammer. Really. A delightful butterscotch tart, true. He's got the CWRP freak pros down, true. He is direct. But it's immensely satisfying to play a character like that, who isn't like beating around the bush or like keeping stuff to himself. He will just tell people how he feels. But I mean, you know, he's a fucking psycho, so kind of adds to it. Anyway, we'll wrap it up there.